Well, hello there. Welcome to my channel. This is Medea J, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 new eyeshadow palettes I am adding into my eyeshadow palette collection and why I picked these palettes. I think everything but one was sent to me in PR. No, I mean, everything but one I purchased. Only one was sent to me in PR. English girl, English. So I pretty much purchased these palettes myself, and I wanted to show you guys. I do have more palettes that I added into my collection, so I'll add them in as honorable mentions just so that, you know, the number 10, because you know, top 10, 10 of 10, it always just sounds fun. But your girl's been pretty busy buying some palettes, but you know what? Judgment free zone. You guys have been rocking with me, even with the 400s and the, you know, 300s eyeshadow palettes. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope you enjoy this video. So let's jump in because we're gonna do some swatches in this. Ugh, speak, honey. Let's jump in because we're gonna do some swatches in this video, and I'm very excited because some of these palettes, girl, I haven't even opened yet. So let's jump right in. Right, let me fix my lash real quick. Right, so this is gonna be in no particular order at all. I'm just gonna, like, I wish you could see my desk is a mess, but it's gonna be in no particular order. I'm just gonna pick from the stack and we're gonna talk about it. All right. So this, I think some of these palettes I did show them in my collection video, but I haven't swatched them, so it's gonna be fun. The first palette we're gonna talk about is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette, and I do have a healthy Natasha Denona collection, and when I saw this one I felt like the color story was pretty much what I love to go for. Plus I really like these medium palettes from Natasha Denona. I think it gives me the level of quality at the price that I'm willing to pay, that is affordable for me, and so I don't feel like I'm breaking the bank, but they're still high-end, you know, good quality eyeshadow palettes. I hope that makes sense. I know she does like the hundreds and whatnot. I aspire to purchase palettes like that, but for now I'm still satisfied purchasing her 60-pound palettes, and this one is a beauty. So the minute I saw it drop, I knew it's the type of palette that I would love because you've got those greens, you've got the warmer shades as well. So if I wanted to go for a warm look, I could. If I wanted to go for a greenish look, I could. The only thing you guys are going to hear a lot is I wish there was a black. I always feel like a black in a palette just pulls the palette together, because then a wider range of people can actually use the palette. So people like me that love smoky looks, I could add a black to kind of smoke out any of the matte shades in my outer corner, or shimmer shades even, just to give it that extra depth. But the minute the black isn't there, I just kind of struggle, and I'm not the type of person that likes to dip into multiple palettes, if that makes sense. So what I've been doing is applying a black base on the outer corner of my eye and then applying the shadow on top. It's kind of like cheating, but hey ho, if you're not gonna give me a black, I'm gonna find a way through. So the Natasha Denona palettes, I don't know if you know this, but you can pop them out and rearrange it if the color story doesn't really make sense to you. But I'm pretty happy with the color story, especially the fact that I like to say names of palettes to you guys. So I'm just gonna randomly swatch some shades, and it's gonna be mostly the shimmer shades, to be honest, that I'm gonna swatch. I'm gonna swatch a few of the cool tone shades and a few of the warm tone shades, just to see what we're working with. So warm tone and the cool tone, yeah, the texture, pigmentation is just popping. Everything is right with this palette. And so these are some of the shimmer shades. I don't have any problems with Natasha's formula. The only palette I didn't really like, I think, is the Sunset or Sunrise palette. I'm not sure which one, but I do have a video of that on my YouTube channel. I did mention that the matte shades in that palette just felt a little bit lackluster and didn't give a punch. But the shimmer shades in Natasha's palettes are gorgeous. So I really love them. They're the stiffer type of shimmer shades that I like to wear. So this palette for me just works really well for that everyday work type of palette. I can add in the colors if I want to give it a little bit more excitement, if I'm going out after work, that type of thing. So I could really add some color. I mean, who am I fooling? I wear color to work, but I know there's some people that only wear neutrals. So you can pop some color in there if you're going out after. So yeah, I definitely have to have this palette, and I'm so happy I have it. It's lightweight, has a mirror, and it's just absolutely fabulous. Next up, I've got the Sigma Beauty Warm Neutral palette. I want to say that this is a reformulation of the standard warm neutrals that they had. You know, the little square one. I recently decluttered that in my declutter series, and so I felt the need to have it. There's just some palettes in your collection that you feel a void when they're no longer there. They're just some palettes. Even if you don't use it, it's just the fact that, yeah, girl, I have that palette. It's just in your head. I don't know, maybe it's me because, you know, sometimes I'd be going crazy. But I do feel that way with this palette. I feel like it needs to be a staple in my collection. So I felt the need to bring it back. One of the few shades in the palette that I really, really love, and I'm so happy they added it into the palette, is this one. I loved it in the smaller version, which is called Fool's Gold. So I will swatch that for you guys. But then there are lots of new, warm tone shades in here that are just yummy and perfect for creating brown smoky looks. You've got red, you've got plum. Like, it's just really, really pretty warm tone eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna swatch some shades for you guys. I know it's kind of looking a little bit washed out on camera, but just think of the shades with a little bit more depth or darkness to them, because, you know. So I'm gonna swatch a few of the shimmer shades, especially Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold is a favorite of mine, and I like the Sigma formula because I really do love stiffer shimmer shades. I've said this a lot. I find them to be really easy to use, no fuss, no flakiness, and here you go. It's so beautiful. Fool's Gold is this one. It gives like a green, you know, green undertone to that gold color. And some of the berry shimmer shades are just so stunning. This to me is a perfect everyday type of eyeshadow palette with a little bit of sexiness, a little bit of pizzazz. And I do love a Sigma Beauty quality, so I definitely felt the need to have this in my collection. Plus, Beauty Bay was doing a fantastic sale. I think I purchased this for about 26 quid. A lot of these palettes I got at a good discount, so I am quite happy. The palette as well now comes with this double-ended brush. So you've got the E38, which is the diffused crease brush, and the E54, which is the medium sweeper brush, which looks like this. So that's a good addition. It's a bigger palette, and I do feel like there's some new shades in here. Can't really remember what that mini palette looked like. If I can find it online, I will pop it into the screen, but I do feel like they added a few more shades to this palette for some reason, so I'm pretty sure I'm right because it does feel bigger. But yeah, I have the Sigma Warm Neutrals in my collection, and I can't wait to pull it into a Shop My Stash, or maybe I'll even do a tutorial on it because I really do love this palette. The next palette is the Amrezy from ABH. Now, people could say that I had no business buying this palette, but honestly, I am an ABH palette lover. I love the Norvina collection. I love the ABH palette. I've been collecting the palettes for a very long time, and in my declutter series, I got rid of a few palettes. They still burn. They still hurt, but they're pretty much the palettes that I don't use. And I've had this one in my wish list for a long time, waiting for Beauty Bay to do a sale on it. This palette originally retails for 49 quid, and I think I got it for about £32 from Beauty Bay. I think it's still on sale. Hopefully by the time I put up this video, it's still on sale, but just everything will be linked in the description box below, so don't worry, I got you. And this is the collaboration with Amrezy. The one thing that really drew me to this palette was the extra pop of blue in the palette, but upon touching the palette, it's kind of like that rough that rough glitter type of packaging. You can hear it, very scratchy. So I don't really like that. But on the inside of the palette, you've got the ABH brush that I don't really care for because they shed quite a bit. I still use them, but they shed. So I'm not going to blind you guys. I always say that and then I end up blinding you. So let's have a look if we can. Yeah, we go. So this is what the palette looks like. Like, you can't tell me this palette isn't beautiful. As I said, just think of the shades a little bit darker. This is a good everyday palette. This is a good going out palette. This is a bridal type of palette. I see this palette as being versatile. You can do so many things. I think there is a pressed glitter in this palette called Litty, and I think Gemini as well as a pressed glitter, so I will swatch those. But it's got some beautiful pink tones in there, and I'm not really a pink person, but I think for this one I'd make an exception. So I'm going to swatch the shade called Barb, which looks like a multi-chrome or dual chrome type of shadow. I'm going to swatch the pressed glitter shades, which are really smooth, so they're not the gritty glitter type of shades, which is good. I could use these are easy to add. And then I'm gonna swatch. Oh, there's a color here called Anastasia, which kind of looks like a rose gold shade, and you guys know that I love my rose. Yep, I love my rose gold shades. I see those shades as colors that you could use as highlighters as well. And then I'm gonna go with Reezy, which is obviously Reezy, and then I'm going to swatch that blue shade because I mentioned it, called Leo. So this is what we've got. Those two are the pressed glitters. This one, which is the rose gold, is called Anastasia. And then Reezy is the beautiful pink. I am not a pink lover, but I could get into that. And then this one is a duochrome one called Barb. In the pan, it looks pink with specks of glitter. It looks like it's got specks of glitter, but it's so smooth and so fine. Even the pressed glitters are so smooth and fine. And that color called Leo is gorgeous. So I definitely see myself as enjoying this palette. You've got a good balance of neutral shades. You've got an all essential black girl. So you know, it cuts through a multitude of people. And you know, I do love Reezy. I do love Amrezy. I think she's gorgeous, and I love this collaboration. I've always wanted this palette, so I'm very happy I have it in my collection, and it's something I'm definitely going to pull it either into a shop my stash or do a dedicated video, you know, like that Barbie girl pink, you know, kind of sexy look that Amrezy does. I love it, so I might do something like that using some of these beautiful shades because they are stunning, absolutely stunning. I'm in awe. They're gorgeous. So yeah. Next up, I picked up this Revolution palette. This is the Earth eyeshadow palette. This was a bargain on Revolution. I know these palettes retail for about £15, but I picked it up for £6. And yeah, she don't want to come out. Come on. I picked her up for £6 in Revolution sale, so hopefully you guys can still get it. But out of all of the ones that came out in this range, this was the only one that caught my eye. But for some reason, I just wasn't willing to pay £15. So I waited, girl. I waited because this palette has been out for a hot minute. But I knew that I needed this in my collection and I would pick it up someday before Revolution discontinues it. Do you guys see those marble tones and the matte shades? Like, there's a good balance of matte shades and they're the right types of mattes. You've got some browns, some dark greens that kind of match the flow of the palette. So there's quite a lot of colors here. You do have a black, but it's got like shimmer effects to it. And you've got like a charcoal color. I feel like it's got a green undertone to it. So I will swatch some of these marble shades and some of the shimmer shades because I think they're stunning. There's a shade, oh my gosh, that's the first color that I swatched and I'm blown away. There's a weird looking marble like green and pink effect. Wow, I knew this palette wouldn't disappoint me. I knew it. I knew this palette was good. Look at that. Let's swatch a blue marble. I knew this palette was delicious. Oh my goodness, look at that. What revolution? Why are you not making more of these palettes? They're stunning. Okay, I'm gonna swatch one more. There's one more calling my name. It's like a lime green. Oh my gosh, look at that. What the hell? Revolution. Why are you not making more of these? Like, what? What? I haven't been this impressed with a Revolution palette since the XX Revolution Gold Crush or Gold something palette. This palette is stunning. If you can get your hands on this, definitely do. Now I want them all, so I'm probably gonna put the rest of them on my wish list and wait till there's a sale or something, because listen, this palette is gorgeous. So I'm really happy I have this one in my collection. I can't wait to use it. It's a shame that it's on sale. I hope Revolution isn't thinking about discontinuing it, because I don't think a lot of people know about this. Like, it didn't really have a long time of promotion like most Revolution products, but this one, they could have taken their time, because the quality of this is stunning. I'm shook. What? Look at that gold. I'm like, want to clean this off and really just get into this palette, because I am oh, what? Okay, let's move on, because if not, I'll be here like, what, all day. I'll be right back. Next up, BH Cosmetics have increased their travel series, so they do have a few more shadows that they've put out, and they're available on Beauty Bay, so I will have it linked as well. And this one is Passion in Paris. This is actually what I've got on my eyes, so I'm not going to go in too much, because I do have a dedicated like testing video and I talk about this palette. But what I do want to say about this palette is that it looks like one of those understated type of eyeshadow palettes. Like, you don't think too much, but honestly, BH Cosmetics have been killing it with these mini, like this style of eyeshadow. The quality is amazing. It's next to none. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the shades that I didn't actually use on my lid. So they're not that many shimmer shades, which is good, because you've got a good balance of matte. Oh my goodness, look at, I haven't even, oh my gosh, this palette is freaking gorgeous. I haven't even done much. Like, yes, please. Yes, please. Listen, this palette is £17 retail, like, and you know Beauty Bay always do a sale or discount, so you could have this in your wish list and purchase it when, oh, look at that one. That one has like a gold and purple shift. A little bit of pink as well coming through. This palette is gorgeous. And the blue shades that I used as well, they've got like a purple undertone to them. So I'm blown away. I know the quality of this palette is amazing, so definitely check out this video when it comes out. If it isn't out already, check the description box, girl, it'll be linked. But yeah, this palette is gorgeous, and I've got my eye on the other one, which is more of the warm tone color. I forget what city that is or what country that is, but this one, she good, girl. Next up, I've got the Manifest eyeshadow palette from Be Perfect. This one came out before the bigger version that I'm going to show you guys, and this is what the packaging looks like. It's like a, it's just, yeah, it's stunning. Let's just say that Be Perfect quality is really, really good, so I'm very excited for what this has, like for what the quality of this is gonna look like. But this is the color story. You've got a beautiful pink shade, you've got a few marble type of shades, you've got that red in the corner, you've got some neutral tones to blend things out, you've got a dark brown, which is the darkest shade in the palette. Again, it's a lot darker in person than it's showing off on camera, and the other shades as well are darker. There are 2 pressed glitters in this palette, which I didn't know when I was looking at the pictures, because I didn't see any swatches online. I could just, you know, see the pictures on Beauty Bay, so I took a chance. I don't really care for pressed glitters, to be honest, because I do prefer loose glitters. But I'm gonna swatch the pressed glitters and see how they feel. They feel soft, but they're still gritty. Like you could definitely feel like it's pressed glitters. It's not like the Amrezy palette. But they're stunning. So these are the two pressed glitters. They come off quite nice, swatched. So they're stunning, to say the least. So I'm gonna swatch some of the Marble Effect shadows. So this is the pink one called In the Mix 96. And this is the gold one called Higher Love. What the hell? Look at that gold shade. Bloody hell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm shook. I should have done videos like this ages ago, just swatching these palettes, because I never do. But I'm shook. The quality of that is stunning, and it's so soft and buttery. I know that Be Perfect, they do really good eyeshadows, but I wasn't expecting it to be this intense. There's only one shimmer shade left, so let's just, so buttery, let's just swatch that. And that one's called Buzzing. Okay, it's a little drier than the other one, but it's still very intense, which is that shade there. And then you've got the matte shades. So I'm looking at those pressed glitters. I would use them definitely, and that pink shade is so stunning. Yeah, this is one that I'm very happy I have. So again, this is very inexpensive. I also purchased it from Beauty Base. Definitely check them out, because the quality feels really good. So I'm quite excited to give it a go. Okay, while we're here, let's just talk about the one that just recently came out. This is the Be Perfect Manifest Dream Big palette. So I guess they must have had some success with a Manifest palette, because they came out with this one. All these palettes, with the exception of the Paris palette, I haven't used. So they're all going to be really exciting to me. So, okay. I've looked inside this one as well. I did show it in my Declutter series. But this is this one. This is a Big Daddy palette. It does have a little bit of a strong chemical. Oh, girl. It's got a strong chemical cardboard smell to it. But the colors in this palette, I can forgive it. All I need to do is air it out. But I wonder if there are any duplicate shadows from the other one. None of them are jumping to mind. But it's stunning, isn't it? So let's get some swatches. Let's see what this one performs like. There are some, you know, like that thicker shimmer type of shadow, that just, they kind of like, they're thick, so you need to really work it in to get it smooth out, like I'm doing now. That's one of them. They're very stunning. They're very iridescent as well. But there are quite a number of those types of shadows in this palette. Like when you swatch it, it looks really chunky. And then you need to really blend it in. Does that make sense? So you really need to spread it out for it to look like that. So there are a few of those shades in here. I'm going to swatch them. I mean, don't get me wrong. The colors are gorgeous. Just those types of shades, they really pee me off, because, you know, I don't like using my finger, but they work best when you blend it in with your finger. So, and then let's swatch some of the other types of shimmer. Like there are a few drier types of shimmer shades. So there's this one, which looks like the one in the Manifest palette. But yeah, you can see that the drier shimmer shades are a lot drier. These ones are more iridescent. You can see the difference in the texture of them. The drier ones are the ones I prefer, to be honest, because they've got more give. Or rather, they're more forgiving than the iridescent one. And now I'm just beginning to ramble, but it's a beautiful palette. That's all. That's all that matters. It's gorgeous. The tones are stunning. It's just picking up so well. And I feel like I'm really going to enjoy using this palette. There is an all essential black in this palette, which I appreciate, which is there. So it's going to give me the depth that I need in the eyeshadow palette. And there's a good balance of matte and shimmer shades. So this is quite exciting. Plus, I really like the whole feel of it. You've got words like happy, appreciate on the film. You've got trust, fearless. So that, you know, words that you use to manifest great things in your life. So I do get it. I get what the palette is about. And I'm quite excited to give this one a go. So yeah, well done, Be Perfect. It's looking really good. Alright, next up, I've got the NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. To know me is to know that I've been wanting this palette in my collection for the longest time. The minute it came out, it took ages to get to the UK, and then it retailed at £35. I was like, I know you're freaking kidding, because anybody got time to pay £35 for NYX? So I waited, and Beauty Bay had it on sale for, I want to say, about 25 quid. So I snapped it up. It's such a beautiful color story. Again, it's a little bit darker in person than it's showing on camera, but you've got a very good balance of matte to shimmer shades. You've got an all essential black. It gives you more of neutral and green tones, which is really what I like to wear. So I am going to do some swatches because I've been itching to get my finger into this palette, but I've been keeping away from it because I really wanted to do this video to show you guys. Oh, it's so buttery, so soft, so buttery. So buttery, you guys. So buttery. Those are some of the green, you know, green with a little bit of gold shimmers swatched. It gives me like those iridescent types of tones. Very stunning. And then you've got this like a gunmetal, which is beautiful. Very soft as well, that one. And then let's swatch the purple, because I haven't swatched the purple. Ooh, very soft. I'm gonna just swatch it at the bottom here. It's like a grungy type of purple. Very beautiful. I knew this palette wouldn't disappoint me the minute I saw it, and I do love the colors, the selection, the tones. It's very much my type of palette, and so, you know, beautiful. It does come in a smaller version as well with a few curated colors, but that just wouldn't scratch my itch. I needed to have this in my collection, and so I was happy to get rid of the one from NYX that I originally had, because the Utopia palette has always been the one that I want, and the other one was just more like I couldn't get it, so I just said, I'm just gonna buy this one. Kind of scratch the itch, but now that I've got a Utopia, the itch is fully scratched and I feel really good. I'm so happy. You know, eyeshadow palettes make me happy, and this is judgment free, but you know, let's go. Right, the ninth palette that I have to show you guys, if you know, you know. So I had to do it. I had to pick up the Norvina number 5 eyeshadow palette. I just had to. The collection wasn't complete without this one. I've got all 4, and I just had to add this one. Plus, the 4th one and this one are the ones that have just like really piqued my interest the most. The 4th one is the pinky one, very girly. My friend bought it for me for my birthday, so I'm always appreciative. And 2 of the other palettes as well were gifts. I think I've only purchased 1, including this one. Okay, 2 palettes. I've purchased 2 of the palettes myself, and I always get them at a discount. This is pretty much the only one I've purchased at full price, just because I just needed it straight away. I don't have an eyeshadow palette that has really purple tones like this. I don't really like the over purple type of eyeshadow palettes. I mean, I've got them, like the cool tone purples. I've got them in the Juvias Place palettes, but one with kind of like the pinkier side to it, I don't really have. And this palette is stunning. The minute I saw it on Norvina's page, I knew I needed to have it. Love the neutral tones. I actually love the layout of this one. I think this is a lot more considered than the other ones. You've got this whole section that is like your neutrals with a few purples, and then you've got your iridescent colors, your purples, your more playful side on here. And it just looks absolutely stunning. I think there is a pressed, oh my goodness. Yeah, this one looks really different on camera, but in person it looks pinky and green. This is actually a pressed glitter. It does feel smooth. It feels like how the Amrezy pressed glitters feel, which feel really, really smooth to touch. They're not gritty. They feel really, really nice when you apply them. Yeah, it feels really, really nice. Look at the shift of that. Look at the shift. Like, nobody can tell me that Norvina doesn't do palettes well. Like, you can't honestly say Norvina doesn't kill it with the palettes. Like, she kills it with the color story. She kills it with the palettes. I think people just hate. Look at that purple. Listen. Listen. This combined, listen, it's over. It's over. And then this gold, C4. Listen. It's over for you bitches. It's over. Like, gone. Stunning. Stunning. Like, I heard people say, oh, it looks like the Norvina original. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That one looks purple in person, but it's green in the pan. Like, period. Period, poo. Period. And then there's this one, E1, which is that rose gold. That rose gold color wipes me out because you can use that as a highlighter shade. I love to use it as a highlighter shade. And this so far is just blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. I knew the quality of this palette. Okay, there's one more I want to swatch. This one looks like it's gonna have a different shift to what it looks like in the... My goodness. Yep, I knew it was gonna be different. So it looks white in the pan, but look at the glow of that one. It's got gold. It's got a little bit of green to it. Listen, it's over. Norvina, you did it, boo. Because I don't care what people say. The quality of this is stunning. Stunning. Stunning in person, stunning on camera, stunning period. So I am very happy that I bit the bullet and I purchased this palette because she is gorgeous. She's gorgeous, and yeah, I'm so happy I have it. I pray Norvina keeps adding more to these volumes because I am so in love with the quality and the formulation of these palettes. It will really disappoint if she stops. I need some more, honey. Like, get into the lab, get some more. I need a black and white. I need a nude. I need them all because formulation is 100% with you guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. I'm really, really blown away by this palette. Alright, so those are the palettes that I purchased. In PR, I received this one. This is from W7. And this is the Mardi Gras Express Yourself 40 Amazing Pressed Pigments. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're absolutely right. This is a big-ass dupe of the Be Perfect Stacey Marie Volume 3 Love in Tahiti palette. And I'll show you guys in a second. But let's talk about the palette itself and swatches and all of that. This is the color story, which looks exactly like the Be Perfect, but you know, the color story is stunning. I do gravitate to color stories like this, very colorful. You've got the purples, you've got the greens. It's slightly lighter than the Be Perfect one, but I will show you guys in a second. But I do want to swatch this. I haven't actually used any palette from W7, believe it or not. Never in my life. So I don't know what to expect in terms of quality of their shadows. Oh, quality of their shadows, but this is not disappointing, girl. This is swatching really nicely. This is not disappointing. And I'm really going into those, you know, those thicker shimmer shadows that I always talk about that you really need to blend it into your skin. Okay, let's go into the stiffer shimmers because those ones are a lot. Oh, so buttery. It's so buttery. This one has like a green undertone. You do have to build it up a little bit, I think, with this one. Which is, you know, that one's pretty, but I had to build it a bit. There's a stiffer green, which is stunning, but it's a little dry. But still very beautiful. Look at that. Stunning. Okay, the color story, you know, I love it. We've seen it. Be Perfect. But the pigmentation is there. It's pretty stunning. It's a pretty stunning palette. Remember to look at it a little bit darker than what it's coming out on camera. But it's stunning, a little stiff, but it's beautiful. I think the pigmentation is there, and I think it will perform really nicely on the lid. So let me get the Love in Tahiti palette, and I'll show you guys side by side. Probably swatch 1 or 2 shades that are the same in the palettes, and we'll see what the quality looks like. So this is the Be Perfect Carnival palette. Packaging is exactly the same. So let me figure out how I'm going to show you guys, because the palettes are big, so I might have to scoot back quite a lot to be able to show you. So this is what they look like. You can see that they're exactly the same. I want to say this is the W7, this is the Be Perfect. I want to say the W7 has, like, the tones are slightly, and I mean like slightly lighter than the Be Perfect one. This is Be Perfect, this is W7, but the color story is exactly the same. Packaging style is exactly the same. Size and weight is exactly the same. So this is what we're talking about. I'm thinking about doing a side-by-side dupe or comparison video showcasing both palettes. Let me know if you're interested in that. W7 is considerably more affordable than the Be Perfect. I'll put it on screen if it's come out, because I'm really not sure how much this palette is. As I said, they just recently sent it to me in PR. So let me swatch some of those shades that I initially swatched. So this is called Tahiti Pearl. I don't know, I'm not saying it properly, in W7, and I'm going to swatch exactly the same shade in the Be Perfect palette, and you see what I mean by the pigmentation. So this is Be Perfect, this is W7 Be Perfect, exactly the same type of color, but the Be Perfect has more depth to it, and the pigmentation is better than the W7, but the color is almost identical. Let's go with one that might be a little bit easier to see. So I've got this green one called Zesty from W7. The same shade is called Tahiti Green from Be Perfect. It looks like this. So yeah, this one is evident. So this one, you can see that the Be Perfect is a little bit darker, bit more pigmentation, and that's the W7 one. But the color is similar. Will it show up on the lid as being different? I can't categorically say it will. So let's try one more. This one has more of like a rose gold effect. So let's try it. Where do I swatch this? Let me wipe. Let's wipe. Make some space. Okay. Alright, so I've got this one called Royalty in W7, which is stunning. Same shade is called Rose Pink in Be Perfect. And yeah, this is different as well. So Be Perfect and W7. W7 has more of a pinky undertone. Be Perfect has more of a rose gold finish. So you've got that shimmer coming through again, but they look exactly the same. Like, I'm in person, you can tell the difference, but on camera, I bet you guys can't tell the difference. So this is going to make for a really interesting video if you guys are interested. But as I said, I'll find the price of the W7 one. I'll put it on the screen. But it's pretty much, W7 is a more affordable brand than Be Perfect. So that's palette number 10. Alright, so let me quickly go through my honorable mentions. They're all Juvias Place, and I purchased them from a UK website. Thanks to my girl Makeup for Days for sharing this website. I will link it in the description box because they've got some really good Juvias Place palettes. So I did pick up the Taupes palette. I had no business picking up this palette, to be honest. I mentioned this in my declutter video. I have the Natasha Denona palette. I keep forgetting the name of that palette, but anyway, I've got that palette, which is more cool tone gray. So I really had no business picking this up, but it's so pretty. I felt the need to have it. And then I picked up the Nubian by Juvias. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I originally had this palette, and I originally didn't like this palette, but I mean, a few people have told me that it's slightly different from the original, and that it's a little bit darker and that I will enjoy the formulation of this one. I don't know how true that is. Juvias Place, I don't think have said this is a new formula or anything, so I'm quite excited to see. And obviously my interest in neutrals has grown, so maybe I was just hating on neutrals at the time, who knows. And then I repurchased the Magic Mini by Juvias Place. I got rid of the big one, so I gave that to my niece. My mom took the second mini that I had, and so I had no other magic palette in my collection. This to me is hands down my favorite of all time Juvias Place palettes, just because of the color story is very much me. You've got the blues, the greens, and some neutral colors, which is what I love. And you've got that rose gold shade that I absolutely love in the palette. So I was definitely missing this one and I needed to have it in my collection. Another one I was missing was the Masquerade palette. Again, I had it in the bigger version and I gave that to my sister. Again, purchased it in the mini version, gave that to my mom. And so I felt the need to have it again because now I think everyone in my family has it. So it's safe to have one of my own. And this is one of those colorful eyeshadow palettes that has colors and neutrals. Everyone and their mama wanted this palette, and you can see why. It's a gorgeous eyeshadow palette, so I'm very happy to have it back in my collection. And breathe. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you found a few to add into your collection. As I said, everything will be linked in the description box below. There will be affiliate links, which means I make a little bit of money. It's no extra cost to you. It just means I make something for recommending these palettes. And if you do use these palettes on social media, definitely tag me. I want to see what looks you create. And if there are any other releases or makeup palettes or, you know, collections, skincare, any products that come out that you think, oh, Medea J will like this, definitely tag me, let me know. I'm always on the hunt, as you can tell, shopping for makeup. So yeah, I'd definitely like to know your recommendations. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, so I can keep doing more videos like this. Remember, God doesn't like ugly. Be nice to someone today, and Black lives will always matter. And I'll catch you guys in a future video. Thank you. Bye.